People say San Francisco never changes. They talk about traffic, housing, the slow downtown. But here is the truth. There are some big projects that are already in motion. Some of them will change how we move, live, and invest here in the city. These are not small tweaks. These are shifts that are going to change daily life every day. And some of them are a little bit closer than you think to completion. Let's dive in. Transportation shapes the feel of a city. If you live here in San Francisco, you know the pain points. Buses run late, crosstown trips take too long, and that's why the downtown transit expansion is so important. The Central Subway opened in January 2023. It was a very big step, but the first step in a bigger plan, that 1.5-mile extension on the 3rd Street line added 4 key stations: Yerba Buena and Moscone, Union Square and Market, Chinatown and Rose Park, and Brannan at the surface. On paper, the distance looks short, but in real life, it is a major upgrade. If you ride Muni, you feel it already. What used to be about a 20-minute bus ride from 4th and King to Chinatown takes about 7 minutes now by train. This not only makes things easier, but it changes daily habits. Chinatown no longer feels so far away. It links right to Soma, Mission Bay, and the larger Muni network. And the city is currently studying an extension to the north. This would connect the famous spots and the older streets to the core system. It would not only help locals get to work quicker, but it would also help visitors leave their cars behind, and it would set up major real estate gains all across that line. Keep this in the back of your mind. We're about to connect it to something big in a few minutes. Transit always adds value in big cities, especially in a city that values walkability so much, like here in San Francisco. And when it comes to real estate, homes near these transit stations often sell for more. Studies in other cities around the world show a common pattern. Property within a quarter mile of a station can sell for 10 to 25% more than a similar place farther away. People pay for time back in their day. A shorter commute has value that you can feel every single day. How many hours you work every day, how many hours you work every week is not as valuable a metric as how much time it takes you to go from door to door, from your door at home to your office. And some people are adding an extra 40-hour work week to every month. And we are already seeing signs of this near the central stations. In Soma, you'll see new listings that highlight how short of a walk it is to get to the train. And in Chinatown, foot traffic is up, and that benefits small shops. Commercial rents all along that route are firm because more people are walking by. Now, if you zoom out, San Francisco's population is projected to approach nearly 1 million by 2049. More people means more pressure on roads and buses. A North Beach or a farmer's market extension is more than just a nice idea. It can be critical. You can picture a reliable, fast train from North Beach all the way downtown, lower commuters stuck in traffic, and that type of change is already affecting how buyers rate neighborhoods. For investors, North Beach stands out. It already has charm, it has classic cafes, strong nightlife, and if there was a direct subway connection to Soma, Union Square, Mission Bay, now it's not just charming, it's also practical. And when you combine those two in a neighborhood, prices are going to only go in one direction. Transit also attracts other new projects. When a line opens, builders look for sites nearby, and that starts a flywheel effect. Transit brings people, people bring demand, demand pulls housing and rent up, and for owners, that can mean more parks, more shops, all within a shorter walk. And for investors, that means steady appreciation. But there is a note of caution. Big transit projects move very slowly. They're costly, they're complex. The Central Subway took years to reach riders, and if you plan to buy now and wait for the next big extension in a couple of years, you're gonna have to pump the brakes a little bit. Timelines can take 5, 10 years or longer. Early positioning and a speculator's mindset is still valuable, it's still important, because by the time that new station opens, prices will already be sky high. So here's the takeaway. If you want a long-term play, follow the tracks. More transit is already taking shape in Soma, Chinatown. If it does reach North Beach, that area could be a huge winner over the next 10, 20 years. Renters, buyers, investors are all going to benefit. That same flywheel is starting in another place that you might be driving by without even giving it a second thought, and that is Treasure Island. By the way, if you're new here, hey, my name is Erik, former tech exec turned San Francisco real estate agent. I help folks that I meet on YouTube and TikTok every single day. If you have any real estate questions, any needs, check the description for all my content below. I am only a text away. Now back to Treasure Island. It's actually part of the city and county of San Francisco, and it's going through one of the boldest makeovers in San Francisco history. We've all seen it from the Bay Bridge. We all know it was an old naval base, and it had some rentals and it had a bunch of empty lots, but now it is turning into a full-out neighborhood. If you don't know, the origin story is pretty interesting. The island was built in 1939 after the Golden Gate International Exposition, and after that, the Navy took it over until 1997. So for about a decade, it has really sat underused, even with some some of the best views in the Bay Area, if not all of California. But now the city is building a new community here from the ground up. The scale is huge. We're talking about 455 acres in play here. They're planning to build over 8,000 homes. Parks and open space cover about 300 acres. So you're going to see waterfront paths, trails, places to hang out and meet up, hotels, shops, restaurants, art spaces. This is not going to just be a little quick stop on the bridge. It will be a destination. But compared to what's coming up, this could feel like a more approachable entry point, but more on that in a minute. And this is real and happening right now. People are already moving in. There's already 3 developments that are open. The Isle House is a 22-story tower with 250 units. It opened in August 2024, and it is the tallest building on the island. The Maceo May apartment building added 150 affordable homes for veterans, and Starview Court added 138 more affordable homes when it opened in October 2024. And transit is the thread that ties it all together. The ferry to the ferry building has run since 2022, takes about 8 to 9 minutes, and it is a picturesque ride. And as the island grows, expect more ferry trips and better links throughout the entire city. Okay, let's talk prices. Right now, condos on Treasure Island can feel a little bit more reachable than on the mainland. Median 2-bedroom condos are about 1.2 million, average size just over 1,000 square feet. And that is very competitive for San Francisco when you consider that these are all new construction and almost all of them have amazing views. But what are the risks? Full build-outs can take decades. If you're okay living near cranes and crews, then getting in at the bottom might be for you. But there are also environmental questions. Some worry about old contamination from the Navy. Others worry about sea level rise and storms. Building on a man-made island brings a lot of challenges, so be sure to do your full due diligence and go in with clear eyes. And even with those risks, the upsides are hard to ignore. Think back to Mission Bay 15 years ago. It was just a bunch of parking lots and dirt lots. Now it has hospitals, labs, parks, the Chase Center, and strong housing demand. Early buyers who were patient did very well. Treasure Island could follow that same path with an extra edge because it's got all these front row waterfront views. Investors will see long-term appreciation as each phase opens. Homebuyers who want new construction and are okay with living through this phase growth are going to get a lot of value. The most exciting part is the clean slate. We rarely, if ever, get to design a brand new neighborhood in San Francisco. Most of the time, you just end up filling small little lots between old blocks. But Treasure Island lets San Francisco rethink urban life for the next generation. And that theme shows up again on the waterfront. Let's head to Pier 70. You can feel the history at Pier 70. Walk around Dogpatch and you see older brick and steel near the water. These buildings once supported shipbuilding for both world wars, and it could very well be the best kept 19th century industrial site west of the Mississippi. And instead of tearing it all down, the plan is to keep all the bones and the buildings all around. And this is not going to be a light refresh. It's a $3.5 billion 15-year plan across 28 acres. The goal is a true, legitimate neighborhood. Housing, offices, labs, artist space, restaurants, parks, all woven into the historic structures that have stood for over a century. And this mix of new and old is going to give the neighborhood a good sense of soul that you really don't find just north of here in the Mission Bay neighborhood. Phase 1 showed what is possible. In 2022, the team finished more than $230 million in roads and utilities. They restored Building 12, the 3-story, 150,000 square foot landmark on the National Register of Historic Places. Today, it is busy. Standard Deviant Brewery is there. So is Scuderia, a motorcycle shop. Breadbelly is drawing lines for baked goods. Artists are filling studios. The vibe has shifted from rust to creative energy. Notice how this sets up a pattern all along the waterfront. We're going to get more into that shortly. But more is to come at Pier 70 over the decade. Expect 1,000 to 2,000 new homes, 9 acres of waterfront parks and play areas. This will soon be a big weekend hotspot. And Dogpatch is already growing fast. It is flat, it is walkable, gets more sun than almost any other neighborhood in the city, and it is still close to UCSF Mission Bay, Oracle Park, and the Chase Center. So who wants to live here right now? It's biotech workers, hospital staff, tech teams. In 2023, 39 condos sold here with a median just over $1 million. Typical size, just over 1,000 square feet. That price range is vastly more reachable than the north side of San Francisco. Pier 70's early buyers are going to be first-time buyers, young professionals, investors, people with a speculator mindset. The special sauce here is going to be its character. Now, anybody can build big glass, high towers, but few places can keep their roots and still make it feel new. Building 12 makes that clear. Old steel meets new storefronts. It feels real, it feels San Francisco, and that's what people want here in the city. And if you think this is big, wait until you see what is rising up right by the ballpark. Let's talk Mission Rock. If you've been to a Giants game, you know all those old parking lots across McCovey Cove. If you've parked there, you know it's Lot A. That is all turning into Mission Rock. And what is Mission Rock? Well, the Giants are building here. They don't just play here, but now they are building here as well. The site covers 28 acres. When complete, it's going to have over 1,400 homes. The plan also brings 1.4 million square feet of office space and 250,000 square feet of retail. 8 acres of new parks are going to line the waterfront, and a major waterfront park will face McCovey Cove. Phase 1 is already on the map. Back in June 2023, a 23-story apartment tower opened up with 283 units. The views here are amazing. Some look right into Oracle Park, others look over the bay. And a 13-story office building is set to host Visa's global headquarters. And that type of an anchor adds instant pull. There's already another 23-story residential tower that is being built. And there's also a life science building that will serve the growing biotech scene right next door. This neighborhood's superpower is the location. It is just north of Mission Bay. It already has UCSF. It already has the Chase Center. It already has a strong tech and biotech atmosphere. And what Mission Rock aims to do is just add more homes and parks right into that mix. It turns a game day zone into a daily life zone. You're going to be able to walk to the park, the gym, dinner, work, live, and play all without getting into a car. It's projects like these that create ripple effects. There's going to be thousands of new residents and workers that will fuel demand for more coffee shops, more restaurants, gyms, daycares, a lot more. This is how a neighborhood gains its momentum. Mission Rock is going to pull people in with sports, parks, and the water. But prices near the water are never cheap. However, waterfront new construction does tend to hold its value well. Even before Mission Rock is done, nearby parts of Mission Bay and South Beach have seen steady gains thanks to new amenities, new jobs, new demand. This build is going to take place in several phases over the next several years. Early buyers can watch the neighborhood fill in, and we'll see more and more upside as more and more phases progress. And Mission Rock is sending an even bigger message. Even after the big remote work push and all the questions about office demand, San Francisco still draws billion-dollar bets. The San Francisco Giants are putting their name on this one. And that speaks to more than profit, it shows local identity. In time, people will know this neighborhood by its name, like the Marina or Pacific Heights. It's very new now, but this neighborhood is going to be a San Francisco staple. Now let's take a look at another waterfront project, but this time it's completely on the other side of San Francisco. Let's head to Ocean Beach. San Francisco is not only building new construction homes, it's also planning for the future of the coast. The west side faces the Pacific. Great Highway runs along the sand. Now the view is beautiful, but the shoreline is fragile. Waves push the sand, storms chew away at the edge. Each year the challenge grows. For years now, the city has used short-term fixes, putting up barriers, closing lanes, shifting traffic after big storms, and now closing a large percentage of the Great Highway completely. The Ocean Beach Climate Adaptation Project aims to fix the root problems. It aims to protect key systems and rethinks how people use the coastline. Engineers will build a buried seawall to protect the wastewater system, which includes the Lake Merced Tunnel under the Great Highway. This tunnel is 14 feet wide and moves wastewater south to treatment. The west side depends on it. The plan also moves the Great Highway inland between Sloat and Skyline. In that space, the city will build a wide multi-use trail with ocean views, where you can walk, run, and bike. Now file that away because it pairs with something that we're going to talk about next. And the work does not stop there. This project adds sand, rebuilds dunes, and opens new stairs to the beach. New overlooks will let you stop and take in the views, and new restrooms and parking areas will make visiting much easier. The goal is both safety and access at the same time. The key step came in November 2024. The California Coastal Commission approved the coastal development permit. That green light moves the project forward. Construction is expected to start in late 2027. The full build will take some time, but the vision is set. What does this mean for housing on the west side? Well, it means that the city is investing in the Sunset and the Richmond neighborhoods. These areas get a lot less hype than the Haight-Ashbury or the Mission. Some call these neighborhoods too foggy, too sleepy, and they're probably right. But with all these new trails, stronger protection, and better beach access, that will definitely change the narrative. And more walkable amenities will surely follow. Living near the ocean is going to gain a lot of new daily perks. which will draw even more demand. And with the limited supply out there, it's only going to pull prices up. Now, we've seen this playbook in other cities. New York built a Hudson River Park. Chicago improvised this lakefront. Homes near these upgrades saw higher demand. People pay more to live in great outdoor space. On the west side of San Francisco, expect a bump in the outer Sunset and the outer Richmond neighborhoods. Homes near these trailheads should benefit most. There's also going to be more peace of mind. Some buyers may worry about erosion and climate risk near Ocean Beach. And while this plan does not erase all risk, it definitely shows action. And this will be seen in the median sale price data over the next decade. A real plan gives people confidence to say yes. And this is not a quick trade. Work does not begin until 2027. So these gains are going to take several years to build. But real estate always rewards patience. If you believe in the West Side and want ocean access without marina or seacliff prices, keep this project on your radar. This project shows the balance the city is trying to strike. We build new towers downtown. We also protect our edges. We invest in public spaces. We make sure life at the edge of the city feels as good as life in the center. Now let's look up. The next project reaches for the sky. San Francisco is known for its hills, bridges, and few tall towers. Salesforce Tower, the Transamerica Pyramid. New plans could push the skyline even higher over the next decade. Oceanwide Center in Soma is a name that most people know. The proposal calls for 2 towers, one set to reach over 900 feet. That would have made it the second tallest building in the city. The design was bold, with strong angles and visible bracing. It mixed offices, condos, and retail. But work stalled in 2019 and 2020. Financing turned hard, and today the site just sits as a large pit. About $400 million has already gone in. The overall budget topped $1.6 billion. Lawsuits and tax issues followed, and the future is now uncertain. But that does not mean tall buildings are done here. Other sites are moving through the pipeline. Permits are in play for 536 Mission Street, and the plan shows a 46-story tower. One path shows all office space, another shows mix between office and housing. If it gets built, it would rank among the 5 tallest buildings in the Bay Area. There's also a very ambitious idea at 77 Beale Street. Hines has floated plans to build it over 1,200 feet. It would rise above Salesforce Tower and anything in Los Angeles. You will be able to see it anywhere from the Bay. But you might be asking a question, do we really need more offices with such a high vacancy rate downtown? Vacancy rates have sat in the mid 30% range since the big remote work push, and many older buildings still remain empty. But not all offices are created equal. Companies want an efficient Class A building with green systems and strong amenities. They want buildings that make people want to come back to the office. And that's why plans for new towers can make sense. It's not about filling every old floor, it's about replacing bad spots with better space. Many of these future towers will be mixed use. They're going to stack offices, homes, hotel rooms, shops, and public plazas into these towers. And that is what keeps a neighborhood busy after 5 p.m. New York did this with Hudson Yards. Toronto did it with vertical communities. People go there to work, but also to live and just relax. And that is exactly what downtown San Francisco needs. And even if some of these towers take years to rise, the plans signal confidence. Developers just don't go around proposing billion-dollar projects if they plan to just up and leave. They believe the city will grow into the space. Homes near Soma in the financial district can benefit as parks open and streets fill in. Not every project crosses the finish line. Oceanwide proves that timing and money is everything. But the pipeline shows San Francisco still thinks big. Cities that stop building start falling behind. So the takeaway is clear. These towers point to resilience. The city has faced tough years. Remote work has risen. Office demand fell. Yet buildings are still planning for the next cycle. When the market feels slow, look at the skyline. It tells a much different story. Stack these plans together. Transit is growing. An island neighborhood is rising. Historic waterfront blocks are opening to the public. The coast is getting stronger, and the skyline still wants to reach higher. This is a full city shift. So you just saw 6 major projects that are going to reshape San Francisco. Look at them all as one story. The city is doubling down on transit. It's rebuilding the waterfront. It's taking climate risks seriously and doing something about it. And major investors are still betting billions on the core. By the way, my name is Erik. I work at City Real Estate, who helps over 300 clients, over $640 million in sales annually. But I don't have teammates under me. All of my clients work exclusively with me from start to finish. So if you have any real estate needs or questions, check the description below for all of my contact information. I am only a text away to start the conversation. And thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you found this information helpful, you're gonna love the next video where I show you how to avoid moving to the wrong area in San Francisco.